Welcome back to the Store of the Communication Room, Thunderdome. You're nothing both. Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best weekly podcast, a show about everything and absolutely nothing at all. Coming right at you one day a week. Sin Shotgun is the old Uncle Nick. Give him a follow on the old Twitter machine at Uncle Nick. Nick, how's it going?
Going good. Thanks for having me.
Tell a friend. Spread the word. iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio as well. Nick, it's your birthday weekend.
It is.
Are you excited?
I will be at 5 o'clock Friday evening when I'm done with work, and then I get 3 days off to relax and partay.
Yeah, it really is a power move taking the Monday off for a Saturday party.
Oh yes, yeah. It's part of what my it's what my job it's my job's like offer kind of thing for people who've been there 5+ years. Like you get a bonus birthday holiday day off, and if your birthday falls on a weekend, you get the Friday before or the following Monday off. So actually, with my career, it's actually kind of easier to take that Monday off than the Friday before a weekend, just because everyone wants to take Friday off, and for some reason I like to be nice and not, put that much burden on my coworkers. That's all.
So it's not a burden. It's Josh Pelto, Remax Preferred. Buying or selling a home in the Twin Cities, he's the man to go with because he needs to walk you through the entire process because you want someone to hold your hand. Well, maybe not physically, but spiritually as you go through the process of buying a home or selling a home. I mean, even though it's a seller's market right now, you're going to get top dollar with Josh Pelto, Remax Preferred, 763-213-4617. Shoot. So the 80s playlist.
Yes.
Give us a couple of the highlights.
Okay, well, so if you guys don't know, we're throwing an 80s party for me when I was born in the 80s, and I love, and it sounds weird because why don't I play more 90s and 2000s, which music I love, but I have a sweet spot for the 80s. I love 80s. Just it's such a variety of music. So I'm a big Hall & Oates fan, so there'll be a couple Hall & Oates songs. Duran Duran, I'm going to get Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, you got to play that song. I'll get the Michael Jacksons, I'll get the Madonnas out there. I'll get a lot of the very popular the poppy stuff. But I'm going to spread it out a little bit. Run DMC, they got started in the 80s. I got the big hair metal bands. I got Motley Crue, Poison, Whitesnake kind of stuff. Bon Jovi. Def Leppard. I'm definitely going to try to get a bunch of English rock. Obviously, we have Duran Duran playing right now. Human League, get that in there. So, yeah, it's there's so many hits. So many.
If you could only go with one 80s band or one 80s singer, not Billy Joel, who would it be?
One 80s singer, not Billy. As in, like, my favorite or just, like, the best?
You could only listen to this specific one for the rest of time.
Do I have to pick an individual singer or can I pick a band?
Pick a band.
Hall & Oates. Definitely Hall & Oates. Daryl Hall has an amazing voice. And, like, Hall & Oates music, I mean, you have that kind of, you have pop stuff, but you have that, like, rock and you kind of that, like, jazz funk kind of thing. They went all over with their music, so I would go with them.
Not Simon and Garfunkel?
Not Simon and Garfunkel, sorry. I think they broke up in the 80s. I think most of their stuff was 60s, 70s.
Wait, who was the Simon and who was the Garfunkel of Hall & Oates?
Gosh. Okay, fine. I like to think of them as an equal duo, but Daryl Hall did the majority of the lead vocals and singing. But John Oates, I mean, him on guitar and harmony was a big deal. So.
I feel like the era of the duo is coming back. Or maybe it's just Florida.
I thought that's a group. Isn't that a group? I don't know. I think there's a lot of good collaborations where there are two people, but I don't know if duos are coming back unless it's like country.
That's two dudes.
Is it really?
Tyler Hubbard and Brian Kelly. Which one's from Florida? Oh, wait, no, there's two other guys. Never mind. Oh, wait, no. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it is a duo.
It is a duo?
There you go. They, like our Creed conversation the other day, they have a band, they have a bass player who they just don't list. He doesn't count.
Interesting. Okay.
That's how it goes. So Nick is turning 35. I got a game for him that he is the only one who's going to play. Then we got some news. It'd be a good time. So Nick, turning 35. How's it feel?
Gosh, I'm shocked. I didn't think I'd make it this long. Obviously. No, I can complain a lot. I bitch and complain a lot about things like, I complain about work, complain about money all the time, family. There's so much stuff. But really, when it comes down to it, I mean, I'm at the most successful I've ever been in my life, and I'm very, very happy. I've got good family. I have really good friends in my life that I'm around. I get to see, you guys, weekly. I live a good life. 35 is, it feels, feels like 25. It's great.
Is it?
It will do. It will do. It will do for now.
All right. So we got the game. And the game is, I got some actors and actresses, well-known ones.
Okay.
And, Nick, you have to tell me if they're older or younger than you.
Damn.
Yeah. So
As of like my birthday, like right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually didn't pick any that are exactly 35 just to ease confusion.
Okay.
Also, I was too lazy to look at actual dates. I just went with the round year. So let's see here. We got 10. Yeah, it looks like 10. So let's get into it. Older or younger than Nick?
Can I see the list on the board, or is it?
No.
That's not that way. Okay.
Yeah. All right, first one. Dave Franco. Dave Franco. So not James Franco.
Dave
Franco.
Okay. I think he's the younger one.
Yep.
We'll
just bring up. No, we'll just bring images. There you go. Dave Franco.
I think I'm older than him.
Final answer.
Final answer.
This whole Regis thing is fun. You are correct. He is 34 years young.
Dang. I feel like I might have looked it up once because I think he's married now to Alison Brie, and I was jealous. I'm like, what does he have that I don't have in age and looks and money? So, yeah.
Cooler older brother.
Ouch, Nate. Sorry, bro.
Next up, Michael B. Jordan. Not MJ.
Ooh.
MBJ.
Wow. Oh, wow. Michael J. I'm kicking myself because I know I've looked this up before because obviously, he's such a big actor right now. Like, I feel like he looks and acts way more mature than me. I mean, obviously, duh. I don't know, but I mean, he's so brand new to the scene. Gosh, I'm gonna go with he is younger than me.
He's younger than you. Michael B. Jordan is 32. Yay!
Yeah.
Good job, Nick. 2 for 2 so far on older or younger than Nick. We'll have to workshop that name. Next up, Zoe Dave Chappelle. Zoe Dave Chappelle of
oh God, you confused the hell out of me when you said that.
Of everything fame.
Okay.
Older or younger than you, Nick?
Oh, I had a crush. I still have a crush on her.
Wait, wasn't her older sister Bones?
Yep, Emily.
Didn't you watch that show?
Oh yeah, I watched it up through season 8 or something.
And
season 8 or 9.
Who's the guy? David Borealis.
David Borealis. Yep. Yep. I think he's still working. He's like an FBI guy on a new show now.
You're gonna have to narrow it down.
Right. I feel like he's a Navy SEAL person or something. Zoe, the younger sister. I'm gonna go with maybe I'm gonna say she's older than me.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Zoe Deschanel, 39, older than Nick. Good job, Nick. 3 for 3. Next up. So this is the only one that I don't really know. Matt Smith from Doctor Who.
Oh gosh! All right. Yeah.
I feel like you would have looked this up at some point.
I know I did, just because I know who Matt Smith is. He's probably one of my favorite doctors of a show I actually haven't fully watched, but out of all the ones that I know of, I think he was on there in the time I would like the most because he was the doctor at the same time Kieran Gillian was the companion on the show. So, the 11th Doctor. I think he's older than me. I'll go with older.
Matt Smith, 36. Older by a smidge. 4 for 4. Nick, you're good at this game. This is the only game you're good at.
This is the only game. Thanks.
Next up, Aziz Ansari. Say what?
Pikes and that guy. I feel like he's been around a lot longer, but I think he might be sneaky young, though. I'm going to go with... Parks. Let's see, when did Parks and Rec come out? Was that mid-2000s?
See, it's tough to tell with us Asians.
I know. I'm going to go older.
Go older. Aziz Ansari is 36.
Nice.
5 for 5.
Gosh.
Shoot. All right, next up.
I thought he would be my first wrong person.
At 5 to go. Nick is perfect so far. Older or under Uncle Nick. Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my gosh, I should have her birthday memorized. I loved her so much as a kid. And she looks kind of scary now with some of these pictures.
Yeah, and then she got a little cray.
She got a little cray. Gosh, I feel like she might be a year older than me, but I'm going to go younger. I think I might have a year on her. I'll go, she's younger.
Younger. Correct. 32.
Wow. Okay, that one picture, beach clothes, looks kind of scary. I don't know if that's really her.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up, so 6 for 6. Nick is on a roll. He's got 4 to go. Next up, Eddie Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne, shoot. Who is from that thing?
He's from Fantastic Beasts, Where to Find Him. He played...
Also, Fantastic Four. He played the thing.
No, he did not.
No.
He played Newt Scamander. Oh, it's Stephen Hawking. He does Stephen Hawking. I'm going to go... I know I looked this up recently. I think I'm older than him, so I'm going to say he's younger.
Eddie Redmayne is 37.
Oh, damn it.
No. There goes the perfect game. Hopes down the drain. 3 to go. Older or younger Uncle Nick. I don't know why that's tough to say. Next up, Jessica Biel. Anti-vaxxer Jessica Biel.
Is she really?
Yeah.
She is older than me. I think I remember her from Seventh Heaven. I think she was older than me.
I bet you could tell me her exact age.
I'm going to say 41.
Incorrect. 37.
Damn it. Okay.
Or did you just say that incorrectly to not arouse suspicion?
No. I actually thought she was in her 40s.
Yeah.
Because I thought. I definitely thought that.
All right, 2 to go. Older or younger than Uncle Nick. Nailed it. Seth Rogen. I see it's tough because he runs with the Dave Franco.
Yeah,
crew.
I know. And I know I've looked his age up, too. I know I've seen every one of these people's age at least once in my life because I don't know if it's a complex that I have where you kind of want to see these, like, celebrities and see, I wonder if they're the same, like if you went to high school at the same time or something. And I don't, Seth Rogen, that beard makes me think that he was older, but he could be surprisingly like younger though. I'm gonna go older than me.
Wrong. Oh, actually, no. You're correct. He's 37.
37. Oh, love popular 37-year-olds.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Nick is 8-1, heading into the last of the older or younger of Uncle Nick. Last one, Gail Gadot.
Ooh. I think I am older than her. I'm going to go, I think she's younger.
That is correct. She's 34.
Yes.
So Uncle Nick, round of applause. 9-1. Got it done. It's pretty good.
Oh, nice. That's incredible. I was that lucky in our other games.
Well,
thanks, Allie.
I feel like this one was oddly specifically good for you because there's a lot of people that are in your sphere.
I guess, yeah. Even though, and I'm completely honest when I say I've at some point in my life have looked up all of these people's ages and like compared to mine, thinking like, oh, I guess I could, like, Gal Gadot, I could probably hook up with her. I can't. But like, what's our age difference? And like, oh, we're actually not too far off. So,
All right, Nick, get the news ready, and I'll tell the good folks about Struther Communications Group because websites, digital marketing, super important in this modern era. And if you want to get your message exactly right, Struther Communications Group will help you and push it through a multi-channel, easy and effective campaign, as well as super lightning fast, responsive websites. Find out more. Go with the professionals. Struther Communications Group. All right, Nick, news.
You are fake news. Sir, go ahead.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I ain't got time to believe. You can't handle the truth.
The news with Uncle Nick.
All right, Nick, what's going on in the world?
All right. Well, last weekend was, if you're a big fan of the Twin Cities and 50s cars, it was their annual MSRA's Back to the 50s weekend at the State Fair, and I wish I could have probably said that I was there and had a blast, but because of work issues, I had to work all weekend and I missed it this year. But for those who have been there or those who always want to go, 12,000 cars were there registered. So I don't think that's a record, but it's quite a few people. I'm thinking they're thinking like quite a few, maybe up to 100,000 people were there this weekend. It's an amazing event. It's such a fun thing to see all these old cars, and you think you're watching like American Graffiti, you think you're watching Grease, Back to the Future. And for my aunts and uncles who were, that was the prime time of their life. They were teenagers and young adults during the 50s, and it's incredible. So, or 60s, I guess. They were more 60s, but
what would
obviously,
be your dream old car?
I'm a big fan of what was the movie? Obviously, for owning cars, I had a Chrysler New Yorker that had these cool headlights that popped in and out and stuff. So I was I kind of obviously I always saw myself as a gangster and wanted to be somebody. So I always wanted like a classic Lincoln Continental. I wanted old, but for old school cars, I wanted I'm a big guy, so I wanted a big old Jalopy or something, a Studebaker or something, something like Pontiac or something, old school. There's just so many different types of cars, and they're all expensive.
What's the coolest car that you've ever seen at one of those weekends?
It sounds cheesy, but I mean, there's always someone who has a replica of the Ghostbusters car. I mean, that's just always eye popping. It's just it's not really 50s, but you're not disappointed to see that there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm always looking for what was the movie Grease, the Grease Lightning car, whatever that was. I always wanted something like that. So it's the colors you see. I'm not too good at naming cars and stuff, other than my uncle has a 59 59 Catalina. I have an uncle who has a 61 Bonneville, and just those, just the way the shapes of these cars are just amazing.
I just want to be the person who shows up with a 2011 Chevy Volt.
I think there's a rule. You might not be able to do that.
A rule? I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
It is not America anymore. No, I'm kidding. It's just because MSRA. I think the rules are. If I have the list, I have the list here. I think it's 63 or 64 and older are the cars that can get registered in there. Yeah. So, but I mean, if you've ever been to the State Fair, there's some of the food venues are open. There's obviously vendors who are trying to sell, car parts and whatnot, and car memorabilia, 50s memorabilia. There's old 50s bands that play, Sha Na Na, and stuff. You get, as I love the 80s, but 50s, 60s music was amazing as well. So I love that classic rock and roll.
Speaking of classic, so Back to the Future 2. When they did the kitchen scene where they had the dehydrated Pizza Hut, I thought that was a legit thing that was going to happen. I feel like it still could.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about Jennifer.
Also, everyone is owned by the Japanese.
I'm not sure where Jennifer is, Mom. Should have been home hours ago, but I'm having a hard time keeping track of these days.
Fruit,
She's one of those moods, I guess.
Thank you. Aren't you and Jennifer getting
Food,
along?
please.
Oh, yeah, great, Mom. We're like a couple of teenagers,
How would you rank the Back to the Futures 1, 2, 3?
How do I rank them? I honestly don't care for the second one that much.
What?
Also because when I originally watched it, I was super confused as hell.
Butthead?
Because it was so the time traveling in the past and the future and stuff. I probably appreciate it more now just because I understand what's going on. But to me, the third one will kind of always be my favorite because I think that's one of the ones that I've always seen the most of, and like that's like I've known and like watched that one the most out of all three of them. Which is silly because I think that's probably the worst claimed one. But when they go back to the Old West, but I mean, to me, Back to the Future will always be that cool the cool train and like getting the train up to 80 miles per hour with like the weird dynamite and like Doc's girlfriend. You think you're gonna like she's gonna tag along and like, you think you're gonna lose her, and then he goes and saves her, and then they get to. You think that they're gone, and then, spoiler alert, the train comes back as a fucking time machine fucking train. It's crazy. I don't know. I always third one to me will always be one, and then Back to the Future. I mean, it is a great one, so two, and then maybe the second one might be my third.
I kind of like it. I like. I didn't like one.
Okay.
I feel like you want to jump over this table.
No. Sorry, I was just adjusting while I was sitting. The problem with one, I mean, I said it depends on how I think you watched the movies. Or I think your interpretation of like your movies coming into it. Because it says like the second one is super trippy and confusing because it cuts back and forth to the first one quite a bit, and you get kind of confused by it, as I did, as a kid. The first one though, I mean, that made these guys' careers.
Didn't they film 2 and 3 at the same time?
Yes.
Damn it, no!
Isn't 3 when they're in the bar and Doc actually had something to drink and
like a
he was
shot?
out. Yeah.
How many do you have?
Just the one.
Just the one? Come on, Doc.
There's a fella that can't hold his liquor.
Give me some coffee.
You want to sober him up in a hurry, son, you're going to have to use something a lot stronger than coffee.
Yeah, what do you suggest?
Oh yeah.
Joey, let's make some wake-up juice.
It actually looks pretty good. It basically looks like Bloody Mary mix.
He's going to be as sober as a priest on Sunday.
10 minutes. Why do we have to cut these things so damn close?
Here, stick this clothespin on his nose. And when he opens up his mouth, go ahead and pour it on down his gullet.
This must have been hard for him to do because look how steady his arms are now.
It's basically a Bloody Mary, probably with a lot of horseradish, which I'm guessing elicits this response.
Just a reflex action. It's going to take a few more minutes for the stuff to really clear up his head.
So funny.
And I like the train. Is that a movie trilogy that can't be touched?
I don't think it can. I really don't think it can.
Unlike Indiana Jones 9, that's coming up.
Indiana Jones 5, but I really don't think it can. And like they've teased it lately, but I mean, obviously. The condition of both the lead characters. I mean, I would assume they would rather straight up remix the goddamn series before trying to make a fourth one. I mean, yeah. I don't think they could touch it.
Do you remember the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles?
I never watched it, but I remember it was on TV.
That's a great show.
Who was it? Who played?
It's the Boondock Saints guy.
Sean Patrick Flannery, or was it the other one? Okay.
Yeah. No, the other one is the
other one.
Yeah, the Walking Dead one.
Yeah.
But no, this was like big budget TV for back in the day because everything was on location and it was practical effects.
But my friends call me Indy. For more than 90 years, I've lived the adventures of a lifetime. It all began in 1908 when my mother and I joined my father on his lecture tour around the world.
Is that supposed to be Harrison
I
Ford.
traveled for nearly 2 years, and my father's Oxford tutor was hired to
They had
guide
old
my
dude
education along the way.
who
But
basically
I
introduced
wasn't
every
too
episode.
anxious to learn.
Henry, straight back.
I hate her. She's a witch.
Although we didn't see eye to eye on everything, we did have the most amazing journeys together.
And they just explain everything in the trailer.
Golly. Sounds great. I'd like to be an archaeologist.
Maybe you'll add a new page to history.
I explored the great tombs of Egypt with T.E. Lawrence, traveled to Vienna and matched wits with Freud, painted the streets of Paris with Picasso, debated religion in India with Krishnamurti.
Now, do you think Indiana Jones is a movie series that can be completely rebooted? Because I don't like how they're limping along.
I've seen a couple. I watched Red Letter Media did a thing about talking about when they the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I actually kind of agree with what they said. They rebooting the series probably would have been better than doing what that Crystal Skull did. And I think it could have worked in this day and age. Kind of like how they redid like Laura Croft, the Tomb Raider movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, where it would work. I mean, there's going to be fans of the original, but I mean, starting a new series would have made more sense than trying to limp an older Harrison Ford. I mean, who was still fine in it. I mean, I thought he was great in the movie, but it was just the plot was so silly and the CGI effects and stuff just kind of like it lost touch of like what the original three movies were. Because I loved the first three Indiana Jones movies.
Shoot. All right, what's next?
Oh, sorry, I put my phone on here. I think next up, I believe, is Disney. Let me double check here. Is it Disney?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's Disney. All right. Disney World, there was news that they are increasing their prices again. And obviously, what's new with that. I mean, they always increase their prices. But it's something where I've never been to Disney World. And obviously, if you know Disney now, they own Star Wars, they own Fox, they own like freaking everything. So with the excitement of a new Star Wars exhibit, going to be like in the Disney World Studios in Orlando, they're going to raise the price, the annual passes. So I believe that's for like a lot of locals who live in probably Disney World who can go regularly more than like us up here in like Minnesota, that can, save up for a trip, once every couple of years. So the annual cost is increase. So for Disneyland, it increased $150 to $2,099.
Seems like a lot
for a Premier passport. Platinum passes increased $225 to
now.
$12.
Was that a month? Is that a year?
I believe it's a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, annual cost.
It better be a year.
Yeah. There's Disney Platinum passes for $1,100. So yeah, so obviously the Premier one is probably the fancy one to get to all the great big things and stuff, whatnot. But I mean, obviously, this is all because Disney's bought so much stuff. They're building so many big things with all the things that they own. So I don't know. As I said, I don't. If you're a California resident or if you're a Florida resident, I'm assuming this affects them more than it'll ever affect somebody's like us. But yeah, it's just part of the price gouging that Disney can do.
It would be a power move if you lived a couple thousand miles away, but still got the Platinum Pass. Because I assume if you go, how many? Like, what's a day pass for Disney?
It has to be $100 at least.
Oh, that's not bad.
Maybe $120, maybe.
All right, hold on. Disney cost day per. 107 for adults. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Hollywood Studios. This is for 2018, so this is relatively close. Let's see here. Peak days, 124 at Magic Kingdom, 119 at other three parks. That's not bad. Man, so you really have to go. You really have to go a lot to make that Platinum Pass worth it.
Yeah, I think you do. But I mean, you have to remember the overall thing is that, Andy, are you going to go to Disney World by yourself? No, you go with your family. So, I think that price, because I don't know if they lower it too much for children. I would think that I would think that price is actually for everyone, isn't it? So like your kids are 100 something. I don't think there's a. I didn't think there was an age limit. I thought they would charge everyone that. So a family of 4 is going to be freaking 500. Family of 4 or 5 is 500. You know?
I forgot about FastPass because as a Disney World Resort guest, you'll be able to reserve ride times for rides and attractions 60 days in advance if you're arriving with FastPass Plus. It's insane.
I know people who go yearly and stuff, and like they have all that stuff signed up and everything. It's crazy to be that organized, but yeah.
Well, we want to go on the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster at 11:37 on Tuesday. Booked. That's how it rolls. What's next?
All right, from the Star Tribune here. Let's see if my website still doesn't kick me off. Good. You sent me a link about 8 upcoming events, outdoor food and drink events in Minnesota. So, would you like me to go through all of them?
Sure.
I talked to them. Okay, so the first one, Dinner on the Farm. It looks like an alfresco collaboration with a couple of breweries down in Prior Lake, Minnesota. Happening June 30th, 4 p.m. for $100. Looks like you get a fresh meal, made there, fresh, obviously. So that sounds good. So Green Earth Growers, Prior Lake, dinneronthefarm.com. Second one, Party with a Purpose. There's a taste for the tour. It's a golf thing happening July 4th. Oh yeah, the 3M Open Professional Golf Tournament. I believe it's celebrity based. So yeah. Get basic celebrities, Andrew Zimmerman, Gavin Kaysen, Dan Moore, I don't know those other people, Jimmy Malone. I think there's a venue, as of the Star Tribune posting, only a couple tables for $1,000 are left, but donors to the cause at 78 more will be entered to win tickets, I guess, to have a meal from these guys. Yeah, this will be in the Interlochen Country Club, Edina. For that, looks like charitable food event.
Sounds ritzy.
Looks nice. So let's see. Number 3, you have a local craft brewery, live music at the Caribou Highlands Lodge in Lutzen, Minnesota.
Yeah,
I think that's up north, right? Lutzen.
Yeah.
I've never been there. So, what's it called? It's the Hoppin' Up Caribou Festival. I believe it's the weekend of the July 12th through the 14th. There's gonna be a pig roast there. Beer pairings, beer tastings, and whatnot. So, Caribou Highland Lodge up in Lutzen. 4, Bellacore is celebrating Bastille Day on July 13th from 11 to 4 p.m. French music and everything. That's going to be in Wyzetta. Champagne, French cocktails around out the offering. We can buy a bundle of tickets and stuff for it. So, starting at $3. Oh, that's not bad. Mm-hmm. 5, Vegans. Vegans is a vegan invasion coming July 14th, noon to 5 at Lake Monster Brewery in St. Paul. I think I've actually been there once. My cousin, Becca, who called before the show, loves that place. She's there all the freaking time. Vegans, I guess there's a lot of plant-based foods and stuff, but also there's going to be beer, wine, and cocktails and stuff, and non-alcoholic beverages. Mm-hmm. 6, CHS Field, so where the Saints play. Going to be taken over by Twin Cities Bacon and Beer Classic. Hell yeah. July 20th, 2 to 5. Try foods from 30 restaurants. I'm assuming all in the Twin Cities. Tickets starting $75, but you get to sample pork belly sliders. Ooh, chocolate bacon cupcakes. Oh. So CHS Field in St. Paul. Number 7, Cookie Cart's annual networking fundraiser, More Than a Mixer. Gives bakers, youth employees a chance to mingle with professionals. So tickets are $30 on July 23rd from 5:30 to 7:30 at La Donna Cerveceria, something Fremont in Minneapolis. Last one is if you're going up north, head to Duluth for All Pints North, a Minnesota Cafe craft brewery guide there on the shores of Lake Superior from July 27th from 3 to 7. More than 100 Minnesota breweries. So if you like to drink, it sounds like a great place. There's going to be food trucks. Tickets starting at $45. $15 for the sober driver. Up in Duluth, Minnesota.
You had to pick one. Which one did you go to?
That last one I just said.
No, just going up to Duluth.
I haven't been up to Duluth in years, so yeah, I kind of would love to. I would love to try it. So
could you live in Duluth?
It's been forever. I would say I probably could. I probably wouldn't mind it too much. The winters are bad. I think the roads are kind of but
the roads are very angular, so that's my biggest concern.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. What's the last one?
Last one is you post something about James Bond. So they're making another movie with Daniel Craig because I kind of thought this would be his. I kind of thought what was it, Solaris? No. What was that? Spectre, I think, was going to be the last one. But turns out if you throw $50 million at him, I think he'll make 2 more movies, which I think was the last speech, I think, was what he did.
Who's the best Bond for your money?
For my money?
Yeah.
I do like Pierce Brosnan a lot, but Daniel Craig is just, it's different, and I like it. Like there's something, it's something unique. It's something not like the other Bonds.
Yeah,
like
Casino Royale kicked everyone's ass. It was a great movie. Mainly because towards the end with Brosnan, like after GoldenEye, it was pretty weak.
Yeah.
Especially Die Another Day, not so much.
The World Is Not Enough.
Yeah.
Does that have to be kind of cheesy?
I feel like... I gotta look it up. Because I feel like Die Another Day was the last Brosnan one. And that one is famous for its bad CGI.
I don't even...
We're watching some of the CGI right now. They're surfing into North Korea or something like that. Yep, this 2002. World Is Not Enough, 1999. GoldenEye, 95. So that was the first. So Brosnan made a new Bond movie every 2 years. 95, Tomorrow Never Dies, 97.
See, so Daniel Craig, I think, has done 4. So he did he did Casino Royale.
Yeah.
What was after that? Was that Quantum of Solace next? Yeah. And then there was another one.
Skyfall.
And then
Spectre.
And I think Spectre is my favorite one. Because the other ones kind of all blur together, which I think is the only downfall of these movies. Is if you're a big Bond fan, I think they all just kind of very similar plot. Which makes them enjoyable action films. They're fun.
You like movies don't have to think much.
Yeah. But so with the specific, so it says after the success, because I think Skyfall was Skyfall was successful. I think so was Spectre. So I think they were going to throw money at him right away to keep going, but I think he wanted to quit. He's older and stuff. He wanted to kind of call it done. There's a lot of work to make these movies, and so he wasn't going to do it. And then they got him. I think they threw enough money. I think maybe a lot of people like, come on, just do a couple more. So he got 2 and 2, and then I think there was a lot of production rumors and issues, and the couple of sites that I've seen to confirm it all, there's a lot of up in the air stuff. I think there was one article was saying that the director for the new movie plays video games too much and was delaying the movie, which I saw one for it, I saw one against it, so I thought it with a grain of salt. But I do know, I think Daniel Craig did get injured during one of his scenes, so I think that delayed the production for a few months as well. So, like any movie, I'm a big Mission Impossible fan. I loved Tom Cruise in all 6 of those films, especially the last 3 are fantastic. And like the 6th one, which is I think my favorite right now, he injured his leg doing a stunt, and you can see it in the movie. It's amazing. Sometimes you kind of have to deal with, if you want to continue to make films and movies and stuff, you kind of have to deal with the fact that there could be some delays, production stuff, with the staff, with the directors, producers, or with the actors. So
I feel like GoldenEye is number 2. So Casino Royale for me would be number 1.
Okay.
And then GoldenEye. Just some of the older Bonds don't hold up. Who wants to watch Roger Moore Bond?
I don't know. I'm honest. I don't want to. It's hard. I've never watched I never sat and watched any of those full movies in full at all. So I feel bad trying to judge if is Roger Moore, is Sean Connery the best, is Timothy Dalton all right? I mean, it's too. Yeah, this is. For me, this generation was the Brosnan and the Daniel Craig, where I was seeing it in the theater.
Right now, we're watching the fan boat chase through North Korea. Because this makes sense.
I don't remember this at all.
Oh, and now I like when they kick away their guns and then it ends up just like a kung fu match.
He should have gotten hit.
There's a weird period in the early 2000s where the CGI on everything was just garbage. Like, they had the capability of doing graphics, but they didn't have the capability of doing it good yet. All right, dong. There you go. And that is the old Newsarino there. Son, shoot.
The news with Uncle Nick.
From the entire Channel 4 news team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
Ah! Nick, what if you die this weekend?
I lived a good life.
Guess you die another day.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine with it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because it might be a little rough for you on Saturday. Not gonna lie.
I really wasn't too worried about it until I saw more and more of our friends who were going to RSVP. Because I'm like, if Andy's coming with the wife and maybe bringing the kid, I figured he'd be more relaxed. Because, I have my list of 3 instigators of the ones who are force make me drink more, and I think all 3 of you are going to come and stuff. And I feel like you guys, you guys are more adult and chiller than it was back in college days. I feel like now I feel like anything goes now.
Well,
so I'm kind of ready for it. Yeah. I'll be ready for it.
The show, get on iTunes, tell a friend, spread the word, and if do that. If you enjoy it, tell a friend, add the Jerome Home Army. Show's available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio as well. But till next time, I'm Andy saying Skol Vikings. Crap, that's the other one. And Young Sayonara, and bye-bye. We'll smell you later.
Thanks for listening to Bowl with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Download the show on iTunes. Everyone's middle name is Jerome.